You know who Jesus stands?
Oh,
Daddy.
that's awful.
It's the truth.
It is the truth.
Jesus stand Daddy like nobody.
Hey everybody, welcome back once again. This is your girl, Ayla Mode, and today I'm going to be talking about my first time. But it's not as raunchy as you might think. So, I've actually seen a few other YouTubers do it. It looks like fun. I used to do these survey things all the time on Tumblr or like MySpace if we're really going back. So why not do it here? My first time breaking a bone was when I was in second year of college. My best friend and I, we would skateboard and do a bunch of stuff like that. He was the main skateboarder. Like, he could do crazy tricks and all kinds. So I was more of a longboarder. I loved going fast. I loved bombing hills. That was more my jam. And we had a number of friends that we'd all do this with. But just off of the street that I lived on, which we used to bomb all the time, was a school that had a concrete backing on it, and it had a steep bank that would go down towards some portables, and attached to the bank was a wood bridge that would go over a little creek, and then it would head to a line of portables. So we would bomb down the hill, and you would go over the bridge over the creek, and then you would have to cut sharp, like not hit the portables and go around them. I just went in, and I went in too fast. I went over the bridge, but I could not cut sharp enough in front of the portables, and I went in hands first, and I kind of like rolled off of them and fell on the ground, and I just remember I felt pain, but ultimately I was kind of numb to it all, and I looked at my hand and I just started laughing because I had never seen anything so ridiculous. But my middle finger legitimately like pointed the other way. It like absolutely brutal. I just started laughing hysterically because I was in so much shock. We went to the hospital and I showed the lady and I just like gave her the middle finger, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that's offensive." I went into the waiting room and I started like giving everyone the middle finger, trying to show them that I broke mine. And I don't know if I'd ever spent so little time in a waiting room before. Like, they got me through lickety split. Yeah, great time, good times. My first foreign country. So I used to travel around a fair bit with my parents doing camping, and one time we went to the East Coast and we cut through like America. That's not like a real experience in another country. Like, we pretty well beeline to the East Coast of Canada. So my first real foreign country experience was actually going to Amsterdam to meet my extended family over there. Yeah, it was a good time. Of course, my uncle dropped us off. Like, we got in, we were gonna stay with my uncle, and he's like this gay 80-year-old, absolutely hilarious, most wonderful person in life ever. Like, if you think you know the definition of flamboyant, Henny, that guy had everyone beat. But he let us come out of, we went to his apartment. We slept for a half an hour, and then he woke us up and was like, "Enough's enough, like, you gotta get out there." And he put us on a tram on our own, sending us to the Dom Square, the center and heart of Amsterdam. And my sister and I got off, we sat in our park bench, and we passed out, like, with everything on us. We were so grateful that no one, like, came and, like, jacked all our shit while we were passed out. That was crazy. My first makeup item. Undoubtedly, my first makeup item was a Revlon black eyeliner, because in when I got into high school in grade 9, there was one kid who was a year ahead of me, and he was like the only goth in the high school, and he kind of like showed me what he knew and like got me into certain bands and whatnot. But he said like Revlon by far was the best to like melt with a lighter and like smudge on your eyeliner, and yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous, and teachers used to think that I was like a Satanist. Whatever, that's all for another video. Yeah. The first time I got in trouble at school, I vaguely remember running under my teacher's dress in kindergarten and doing all this ridiculous stuff, but the one vivid memory I have, the first time I vividly remember getting in trouble at school was trying to pick gum off the brick wall outside with my middle finger, just being mindlessly bored waiting in line to get in class. And one student pointed out to another teacher that my middle finger was raised. Somehow they thought I was being offensive and I got sent to the office. Absolute dick move on the teacher, the principal, and the student. But either way, I gotta learn a bunch of new swear words. So that was pretty cool. My first celeb crush. Now, I mentioned in my video with my best friend that my biggest celebrity crush was Drew Barrymore, and she was most certainly my first female crush. But in terms of males, Marilyn Manson by far had me gagged every time. Yes, please. My first time getting drunk. My first time getting drunk was in grade 9, and my best friend and I at the time would take empty water bottles and we'd go through our parents' liquor cabinet and we would just take a shot from each bottle, and by the end of it we would have 3/4 of a bottle of just absolutely atrocious swill. And yeah, of course, within seconds we'd be obliterated, and we showed up to school like that. We would drink it before school. My first tattoo. My first tattoo was the spiral heart on my wrist, and yes, it's from Marilyn Manson's Eat Me, Drink Me album, but I appropriated the symbol for myself as a reminder to stop self-harming, hence being over the wrist, and just to say no matter how crazy my life is, I have to learn to love myself. And I am by far still in love with this tattoo. And after a year of having it, my father asked me when I would stop drawing this symbol on my arm, which is when I finally broke the news to my dad that yes, it was a tattoo and not a drawing. My first concert was in Barrie at the Molson Park back when they used to have the flats there, and I saw Green Day for the American Idiot tour. Absolutely amazing. I was 16 years old, and a friend invited me. His older sister took us. It was a great time, absolutely phenomenal. And of course it was during all the antics of Bush, so it was this really cool, really awesome, great first experience. When I lost my virginity. Now, out of respect for my previous partner and for myself, I'm not going to get into the details of it, but I will say that it happened when I was in grade 9, and it was definitely before I was really ready for it. And the one best piece of example of why I was too young for it is that I wanted to save sex until marriage. Why? Not like any other kid out of purity or whatnot. I seriously thought that if I didn't have sex until marriage, that I would somehow attain psychic powers. Yes, that is absolutely ridiculous, and you heard me right, but yeah, no. Yeah, definitely. Well, those are a bunch of my first time stories. Maybe not as raunchy or wild as you thought, but that being said, a lot of absolutely ridiculous stories from my life, which is just one big ridiculous story. And if you like this kind of thing, be sure to comment on which of the stories are your favorite, or click the like button or subscribe. Until next time though, remember to keep your pencil sharp and your mind sharper. Ciao!